I am here to do your work, and I thank you for your continued energetic blessings and support. Greetings, dear souls. I am Crispy, and I am another you. You are another me. We are one God-sciousness. Every single human being that exists is a holy hologram, a divine spark, a sacred fractal of God-sciousness, the divine Mother, Father, Source Creatorix, Prime Creatorix, the creation, Hunab, which is this image right here. The Hunab is the one and only giver of movement and measure. Movement is constant motion. Can you see the spinning, the motion here? This is actually a 3D torus viewed from the top. Energy is spilling out and going down and around and under and up and over. It never ends. That is the movement. Measure means consciousness is aware of the movement and measuring it. Ha ha ha! So the Hunab is the one and only giver of movement and measure, the great central sun and black hole at the epicenter of the omniverse, the maker and modeler of all things physical and non-physical, the heart of earth, the heart of sky, heart of humanity, Hunab, and the colors black and white represent divine femininity. The black is the void, the womb, the black void womb of no-thingness, and the white is the light that came out and eventually solidified into this form which we call matter. Everything that is matters. All right, little tangent there. What I'm here to tell you today is that you have the divine feminine and divine masculine in equal portions in you. All of us do. It couldn't possibly be any other way. We have been fooled for, let's just say, 2,000 years, that there's a big separation between masculine and feminine. That immediately creates toxic masculinity and toxic femininity. If you think that men are here and women are there, then you're toxic already. You're killing yourself, all right? The Hunab is the consciousness that all is one. It's also shown by the yin-yang symbol, okay? You can see the yin-yang right in the center there, right? Woo! But then there's the four pyramids, the four directions, and all that other stuff, right? So for 2,000 years, we've been drifting farther and farther away from ourselves. One of the first transmissions from the Pleiadians, I like to bring that into it. In 1992, the book was published, Bringers of the Dawn, and in that book, so 1992 published, probably channeled around 1990, so let's just say 35 years ago, here's part of what came through. The twin flame is the male and female existing in one body, whether you are physically male or female. You are your own twin flame. There is nobody outside of you who could possibly complete you. You are already complete, my friend. We all are. It's impossible that you need someone to complete you. That whole framework is based on separation. I'm not going to get farther into it, but just know that. You are complete, you are whole, you are sacred, you are divine. You are divine feminine and divine masculine. We all are. It couldn't possibly be any other way. Now, quickly, what happened to me was this, which took me quite some time to draw it. But during meditation, I felt my right hand. I was sitting in this chair. It's about 7, 8 years ago now. 2017. I was sitting here meditating about the Mayan calendar, about my birthday on the Mayan calendar, which the Maya teach. You need to find your birthday. Here's mine, and you're supposed to count back 9 days and 7 days and count forward. Oops, that's the next line. It's very complicated. I had been studying it since 1999 and still hadn't grokked the pattern. And then whammo, I got zapped with this experience. Tight gripping of my right hand. Gentle caressing of my left hand. These are my divine masculine and divine feminine guides. That's all I'm going to talk about today. We all have 4 guides, the past and the future as well. Later I came to teach it this way because it's much easier to teach that way. If you've never seen all 20 glyphs and you don't know the circle and how things rotate, whoa, right? And if you just look at that, oh, okay, I see. So that's why I teach it that way. Now, quickly, I'm going to show you my website that you can find out all of these things about yourself. All right, here we go. Make myself a little bigger. So all you need to do with my website, it's mayanembodiment.com. You want to check a birthday, check any day. Well, here's today, by the way, and today is the full moon lunar eclipse. I'll just show you the whole month. I also sell these calendars, all right? So here's today. It's called Resolving Reincarnation. I teach the best way to think about tone 11 here is that it's upside down. Normally, the dots go on top of the bar, but I had the vision to teach it like this, so I do. And let's go back over. Here's today. We'll just use today for an example. If you put any date in here, we'll just put yesterday, the 13th, all right? And submit it. What you see is the name of here. This is manifesting as tone 10 and the serpent there. Then you get your divine masculine, stabilizing as tone 4, 19th glyph, 4 and 19. Here you've got 10 and 5, all right? It all starts here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So yesterday, the 13th, tone 10. And the pattern goes 2 for the past wisdom, 2 is pairing, 3 for the divine feminine, 3 is activating, 4 for the divine masculine, stabilizing for the 4th tone, and then 5. All right, so anyone who's born on tone 10 has 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's what I'm going to explain today. The whole Mayan calendar is based on these glyphs and these tones, okay? This is the 20th, this is the 1st, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 13, 3 dots, 2 bars, okay? Just ask me questions if you want more information. Now, again, on my website, I do have the Da Vinci codes for every single day out of 260. I've got them all there if you'd like to look at it that way. It is easier to understand. And the core self codes is about one little paragraph for each. What does tone 10 mean? It means this. What does the serpent mean? It means that. And then also the full key codes. So for every single birthday, there's you inside the circle, which is what happened to me. And then the Da Vinci Code, which is the fun, playful way to teach it. And then the paragraph of what each means. And then this page also, which has basically all of the core information for what tone 10 is and what the serpent is. And then on most of these, I create high vibe code phrases, which show you how the tone 10 energy combines with the serpent. Let's look at this one. Intuitive partnerships. And so inside the serpent, you've got intuition as a key word here. Oops, no, don't move away. And then partnerships is from here. So I create these phrases just to show you how to weave these energies together, all right? So here's a little secret. The way the system works, let's go back to today just for example. Boom. As I sort of alluded to, here's the 6th glyph, and you go back 6, here's the 20th, and then go back 8, and then go forward 6, and go forward 8. So if you want to find out every juicy little tidbit about you, just -6 from here, and then you'll get all the other information for the Divine Masculine Guide of today. Let's just do that for example, okay? That's an 08. So we're going to come up with an empowering solar chief on the day, right? And then you can go into Da Vinci Codex, that's fine, but let's check out what does empowering and solar chief mean, and what are some of the possible codes for that. Oh my goodness, that's so fantastic, right? So that, let's just put today back in. That is how you check all of the information for your Divine Masculine Guide. If you want to check all of the key code words for your Divine Feminine, just add 6 days to your birthday, all right? So you have everything there. Now, what I'm going to do is just a quick soul explanation of them all. I've made some very informative pieces of graphical information. Let's go up to big screen here, put me in the middle, and I'll go just a little bigger. I'm not going to talk about the past wisdom guide or future vision guides here, okay? Today is all about Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. So I've listed them all out here for you. I'm also not really going to talk about the chakras. I was given another vision that the chakras follow this pattern. We do know that the Maya knew about the chakras and Kundalini, but all of their books were burned by some very toxic masculine people. So that information came back through me. Yay. So there it is, okay? Both of these, the past is masculine, and Divine Masculine is obviously masculine. The future is feminine, and you'll see that the posture I was in, okay, I felt this whoa, and my attention went here, and then like that, and then I went, oh, and I looked over here and looked up like that, and that was it. It was gone. Whole thing lasted 1 second. But it took quite a while to unfold all of the meanings, and here we are. So the right side, the past and masculine, is like the brain, okay? Left side, right side, here we are. So the root chakra, initiating that starting position, and they have all of this energy to move everything at least up to here, and then it starts to gain its own momentum going back down, tone 7 in the middle. So to be a fully divinely masculine person, if you're born on tone 7, you have the energy of harmonizing as your divine masculine and reflecting. You're up here, your divine feminine, your inner private, your yin energy is very balanced. And reflecting also means, yeah, I see. Okay? So let's move on. Oh, we like that, don't we? Oh, come on now. Be nice. There we go. Tone 2, the sacral chakra pairing, right? You've got suddenly this patient energy, all right? Now again, over here, this is your throat chakra, all right? But it's patient. Also meaning persistent, able to continue giving the amount of energy required to reach one's goals. And then that tone we just talked about goes backwards in a way, so the Mayan calendar is recursive, all right? You're going to see this the whole way here today. You go up one here and things go backwards there. It's freaky. I love it. So now you've got an inner self that's more about harmonizing. And there's so much more information on my website. I'm not going to continue about it here. Now, activating is the solar plexus chakra, right? To be a divinely masculine activator, you need to manifest, all right? Whoa, and then patient. You need to be patient. See how things shift backwards? Like what? We're going up on the tone, but the things shift backwards. It's freaky. I love it. This coding, by the way, came from the Pleiades thousands of years ago, all right? If you don't believe me, do your own research. Stabilizing, a person who is a stabilizer, goes out there, there's that 11 again. Tone 11 is resolving. You have to have a lot of resolve to stand up on a double-stacked rollabola out in public, okay? It is not for the timid, but your core self is stabilizing. And then you've got the manifesting over here as your divine feminine energy. It's so beautiful. I'm going to move that sidebar out of the way. Thank you. And put me in the middle. Isn't that better? Ooh, I love it. Very stabilizing thing to do. That's not who I am, but anyway. In Lak'esh Alakin, we are all everything. Empowering, throat chakra. To be empowering means your divine masculine is understanding. Now, understanding is like a cube, a quartz crystal cube of 12 separate beams. It's not a solid cube. It's 12 beams, clear quartz, seamlessly joined, so that every position on the 12 is instantly and intimately connected to all the other 11, going to 11, resolving as a divine feminine. So there's a inner yin energy of getting up on the rolla bola, requiring supreme balance. But over here you've got the cube that's very solid, right? And then your whole purpose is to empower. Next, tone 6 is also shown in the classic upside down position. Now check this out. Here we finally got the highest tone, 13, transcending. So the person who was born standing on a rolla bola, a little bit easier than tone 11, you must admit, has this transcending quality and an understanding inner self. So outwards they go to get over, to move beyond, okay? Here's the way it looks here, okay? Now I'm going to show you something very cool about tone 7 people, which is myself. Tone 7, reflecting, look at our right hand man and our left hand lady, okay? That's who we are. Everyone born on tone 7, you've got this initiating power to go out and do stuff. And then your inner self is all about transcending, ascension. 1,000 more details on my website if you need them. And just please ask me to do your Mayan embodiment astrology. That's my purpose on earth, is to help people embody their divine feminine and divine masculine through the lens of Mayan embodiment, which is Pleiadian. Had to plug that again. Harmonizing means now that the divine feminine goes back to this very powerful, forceful, birthing, creative energy to be a harmonizer. And the masculine is about one-on-one communication, which can be expanded to self and group, self and world, whatever, okay? So that's the power of harmonizing. All of these affect the glyphs, okay? I think I explained that, but I will show you all the glyphs after this. Now, tone 9, patient, that's the bar and 4 dots. Patient means persistent. It means carrying along with the energy necessary to meet one's goals, as I basically already said. And then look at the masculine energy of patient people. Activating, going out there and ringing those bells. You're holding a triangle, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, getting people together. And here, you've got this patient, which also means the 9 moons of human gestation, okay? There's a very birthing, creative, feminine energy with patient people. And over here, they want this pairing energy for their quiet inner selves, all right? Gotta like that. And did you notice the past wisdom guide energy? So birthing, creation, pushing things into existence, and then look at their core self, right? I'm not talking about the past and futures today. Matcha. So the manifester is 2 hands coming together, working together, making deals, getting stuff done. It's the heart chakra, and look at that. Did you notice these two, how they go together, right? Let's just go back super quick. I didn't dwell on this, but look at that, right? Isn't that an amazing pattern? Which, by the way, you cannot see the way the Maya teach this, all right? You can't. Anyway, so to be a manifester, your outer face, your public self, has to be stabilizing in nature, okay? Think about that. And then what do you do for your creative inner self? Activating. Whoa, is this adding layers to your understanding of the manifestation process? It should. Are you a manifesting human being? We all are in a way, in Lak'esh Alakim. So here we go. Next, we come to the trickiest tone of all. All Mayan astrologers, all Mayan people will tell you that tone 11 is the wild card of all 13 tones. They'll all tell you this. I happen to be the only human being that teaches you should think about it like this, because I saw it in a vision. Yay! So you need to be the most balanced out of all the 13 tones. These people should not drink alcohol. They should not do drugs to excess. They can have a drink or a puff or whatever it is, but they are the most likely to capsize if things get out of control. However, what they're supposed to do, their function as an outwardly going, doing person, is to give power to others, and then their inner self has that 4 directions, 4 colors, 4 elements, 4 pillars that hold up the sky, the 4 bodies of humanity, the physical, the spiritual, the emotional, and the thinking body. All right? So if you were born standing on a double-stacked roll of bola, you've got a lot of support around you. And guess what your future is supposed to be? A little bit easier than everything before. All right? Almost done. Understanding people. As I said, the quartz crystal cube. Look what they got over here. They're supposed to go out. A little bit of circus styles, street performer energy in a way. And their inner self is activating the throat chakra and to empower others. So that's the thing here. Not all inner selves are supposed to be quiet according to this system. All right. Last one, transcending. Anyone who's born here, look what they got on the other sides. Do you remember what I said my Divine Feminine is? Well, look at the switcheroo here, okay? That's the same for everyone. I didn't dwell on that, but it's the magic that's woven into the systems. And who's the Divine Feminine energy here, right? It's supposed to be balanced, yes, but why would you get on a roll of bola? To perform, all right? That's all I'm saying. So awesome to that. Now let's go into the tones. I don't have time to do all 260 possible combinations, obviously, but this is how they all work together, obviously. Oh, I want to move this out of the way. Thank you. I like as much possible space and information. So the first glyph I call sunrise. It has various other translations. Use them all if you wish. Don't use only one set of translations. A lot of people get stuck on a micro point of view, which, means you have to ignore the other 5,000 kilometers of Mayan space and maybe 2,000 years of, let's just say 500. We really started to get their information 500 years ago. All right. Mayan Embodiment includes every known translation. All right. So sunrise it is. You can see the glyph itself is alive. Okay. The sun is alive and the earth is growing up to meet him, as it were. So this is the first glyph of 20. This is the 15th. This is the 7th. All right. 13th, 9. And that again is because you are subtracting. This is me, the eagle. So let's go down to here. If you just subtract 6 from 1 on a loop of 20, you get 15th glyph, right? Subtract 8 from 1, you get the 13th glyph. Add 6, you go from sunrise to the 7th glyph, okay? We don't need to worry about the positions, but sunrise, because it's the first glyph, it also includes that very creational energy. And then to go out, the masculine energy is to be above the concerns of the world and to look down and to view from above. And the inside, inner energy, this deer is a 12-point buck. Here's 2, very solid. The Maya consider the deer to be the spiritual guardian, the protector of all other life in the forest and the plains. It was the first animal mentioned in the Popol Vuh that was created by the makers and modelers. All right. So it's amazing that sunrise, which is the moment that Gaia awakened and realized the sun is alive and she is alive and she is growing because of him. All right. That's the myth of the glyph. And then to go out, you've got the eagle, and then the inner side is the deer. All right. So add that to whatever tone you were. If you're a sunrise, imish is the word in the Yucatecan pronunciation. The following day, the glyph of breath. And the colors, again, red is the physical body. It is east as a direction. It is spring as a season. It is the earth element, obviously. Okay. And then into the white, you've got the yellow. And white and yellow, let's just go back a second here. Blue is the emotional body. West, physical body. East, okay? So I think you can see the pattern there. All red people have blues here. All blue people have reds here. All white people have yellows here. All yellow people have whites here. There is another system that combines all 4 of them. So each person does have all 4, and that's what I call your step family. S is your spiritual, T is your thinking, E is emotional, P is the physical. We all have all 4. That's another set of teachings. Let's continue with Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. As you can see, breath means spiritual communication. And what are you supposed to do as a spiritual communicator? You're supposed to go out in public and speak like a wise one. Your inner self has the fire, all right, of a star seed. Whoa. So depending on your tone, you could be on fucking fire every fucking day, okay? All I'm saying. Dusk, the first blue glyph. Blue represents emotions, and then dusk is like when the night comes on, the sun has just gone down, and we know we're going through the whole of the night, so it's dreams, lucid dreams, many other things. Check them out on my website. And then look at who is the masculine, Gaia. Wow, you can see what's going on in the glyph here, right? Let's take a look at that. Maybe, oh good, yes we are. A little bit fuzzy, sorry about that. The evolution is happening. This is the, oh my goodness, is that a 5? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5D Earth? Oh, I think that is what's happening here. Offering is the glyph of prayer, making an offering on your altar. Okay, hopefully you've got some white sage or whatever. I do this before every single video, And every time I do a client, before I do their charts, I do this. All right? That's part of the offering. And I'll explain a little bit more about why I do that a little bit later. Now, our first yellow glyph, the seed. If you take a real close look into the seed, it's not so hard to see, oh my star, every seed is a star seed in a way. The male power is obsidian mirror knife. Precision is called for. It used to be more of a warrior energy, now it's the healer energy, and it's also the mirror for reflecting and divination. The dog's all about love and protection. There's the big love and the teeth, and the bark can be worse than the bite, or the bite can be much worse. Okay, back to the reds. The serpent needs this rainstorm energy, which when you look at the glyph could be like, whoa, right? It's got all of that in it. This is the one glyph that is most connected to the divine feminine of all the glyphs. As I mentioned, tone 9 is the gestational element, and then this glyph is all of the divine roles in society that women play, or at least people who are activated in their divine femininity, all combined into there. With the serpent representing Kundalini and change, right? Shedding skin, adaptability, flexibility. That was yesterday, by the way. And here you've got this very playful musical actors, singers, dancers, performers, all right? So interesting energy. You've got the chakras and Kundalini here, and then the inner self is a performer extraordinaire. The outer self can chuck bolts of lightning. Oh, right? The serpent. Now, the sixth glyph, which as I mentioned is today, reincarnation. The Maya, by the way, call this glyph death. Most of them do, but they, in their culture, automatically know that we all reincarnate. So just to say death to most Westerners means over, finished, done, nothing else. So that is not the intention to this glyph. It means endless cycle, death and rebirth, direct connection to the ancestors, as does their 20th glyph, the completion of everything. Therefore, ancestors very present there as well. And you can see the past wisdom guide. Now, the traveler, quick and easy is happy camper, but it also means quest, person on a quest for self-actualization, all right? If you haven't picked this up by now, the Mayan calendar is about the evolution of consciousness and transcending the ego. Did I not mention that yet? Not directly. When you fully actualize and embody your divine feminine and divine masculine, you are transcending the ego. The ego is the illusion of separation. The ego is, first of all, everything else in the whole universe, and then me. Okay, so duality in its that microcosm and everything else. And then God is way up there and unknowable, and you know, the whole blah blah. Let's get back to this. The deer, which as I mentioned is primarily the spiritual guardian and protector, has sunrise. So already, this is the 7th glyph. And because we're on a cycle of 20, we've got the sunrise already coming back into play here. Okay? So when you start right here. If you count back 6 days, you've got the sunrise. Okay? I love this system. As I mentioned, sunrise is this creational force, and the deer, right, is this powerful guardian energy. And then who comes in as the divine feminine? I'm going to talk about him later. He is virtually the most masculine, in, I would say, a tie with this guy, although because he is completion, he represents divine femininity as well. The corn could be the most masculine glyph, and there it is in the divine feminine side. So the Mayan system includes gender blending, my friends, and depending on what tone a person has here, it could feminize this or also add more masculinity to it. This system blows away anything else on the planet. There's nothing like it whatsoever. All right? It's just the facts. And it's Pleiadian. Did I mention that 3 or 4 times yet? The star seed, yes, that is the best name for this glyph. And look who comes in as the outward energy, spiritual communication. Now look who's our divine feminine. The jaguar shaman is possibly the second most feminine. It's a little difficult to quantize. What's the word? Quantify? Better word. How feminine and how masculine things are. You know, a jaguar can be pretty fierce. And yes, okay, so there it is. This is a feminine but fierce energy for the divine feminine of all star seeds. And look at who their childhood influence was, right? And the future we'll talk about. This one we already did a little bit. It's the wise one. Amazing energy for the star seeds, all star seeds. In Lak'esh Alakin, we are all every one of these things that I'm talking about. And when you follow the calendar, each day is your birthday. Every single day is your Mayan birthday because you are every single glyph and tone. And yet, we do have our own birthdays. Next, all right, fine, I have to go down to here. Offering. Dusk comes back in, and the eagle. We will talk about this in about 6 more days when the eagle comes down. 6 more days, the eagle goes here, the offering comes up here. Dusk, dreams. This is a very dreamy glyph, actually. The offering, again, as I mentioned, is about prayer. It is about making offerings. It is about karma. It is about the altar and ceremony, okay? And the way that they need to actualize that is to actualize their dreams. And their inner self has this perspective, this vision, all right? Next, we've got the dog, which, as I mentioned, is equally loving and equally fierce. I can't tell, what is that? Is that like a little sausage or something? Or their tongue? I don't know, but it just needs to be there, as do the sharp teeth. All right? The love is fully there, and so are the sharp teeth. Their divine masculine is about this planting of seeds. It's also planting of idea seeds. It's networking, all right? Great energy for the dog to go out and do stuff. And then the dog, which can get carried away wagging its own tail, inner self got all the wisdom in the whole calendar in their mind, okay? And again, the tone changes everything. There are 13 types of monkeys, okay? Tones. These are types. It is the tonal, and these are called narwal, okay? The monkey has the serpent. Remember, the serpent had the monkey. Is that working for you here? Let's go back. Serpent, 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 serpent. Serpent has monkey for divine feminine. Therefore, monkey has serpent for divine masculine. Every single glyph is like this, okay? The same with the tones, my friends. This is the highest level of coding of any system on the planet, and it has nothing to do with stars or planets or anything, okay? The Tzolkin is a count of days which relates to DNA and the precession of the equinoxes, and that's all I'm saying. There's no stars, no planets, no retrogrades, there's no debate of tropical versus sidereal. There's no debate of Ophiuchus or not Ophiuchus. The only debate is the fake Mayan calendar called the dream spell, which I have spoken about at length. If you need more information on that, just ask. So here we have Gaia again coming in as the divine feminine. So the monkey, as I mentioned, is a performer, is the creator, song, music, dance, poetry, and their divine feminine is actually pretty intense, pretty big. Gaia, I just need to say this, is not only feminine, okay? Every single life form on Earth has divine feminine and divine masculine in it, including plants, okay? So Gaia is both. Sorry to pop your bubble there. Now, the traveler, as I mentioned, is on a quest for spiritual enlightenment, self-actualization, okay? Look who they have here, death and rebirth. To go out, they need to be able to release and let go. They're fully connected to their ancestors. And look over here, the future of all travelers is the 20th glyph, the solar chief, who represents completion, right? So, do you see how tightly woven this system is? Divine feminine, divine masculine, the obsidian mirror knife, okay? Precision is called for, carefulness, delicacy, and if you need to, it's there, all right? Extremely powerful. Not the softest divine feminine energy, in fact, the opposite. Corn! I need to mention that corn being basically the masculine, only men plant and harvest corn in traditional Mayan societies. And, oh, did you notice who came through here for the divine feminine of all corn people, which is the most masculine glyph? The divine feminine is the most divine feminine glyph. Why? Balance. All right? That's all I'm saying. And then over here, you've still got this protective 12-point buck energy, right? Amaze balls. Birthing creation and the chakras, kundalini, transformation, shedding skin as the childhood energy there, moving right along. The jaguar shaman. Just look at that. Just feel into that. Oh my. It's got a feminine energy, but look at these two. Oh, the solar chief is so fierce. Feminine, it's the warrior, it's the mask, all right? The mask of the tribal leader and the dancer, the performer. There's a lot of performer energy there. The staff, they've got a staff. I want to show you my staff in the corner. Okay, the jaguar shaman, the healer. The chanter, they chant, they sing. These are the leaders of all of those ceremonies, all healing. For them to go out, they've got to be the starseed radiating in all directions, okay? You see how this is? Yeah, you do, man. You see this. You understand what's going on here. Five more to go. The eagle. Did I mention I was an eagle? I'm already tone 7 sitting up here, and I'm the eagle, so I'm a pretty high eagle, okay? That's probably why this system came through to me, because I could see. And here is my divine masculine energy, is to do ceremony in public. I'm doing it, all right? Whew, and my divine feminine is this creation energy, right? And you are looking at my creations here, my friends. I cannot stop creating. Oh my goodness. Did I tell you I painted this? I did, yeah. I can't stop. I won't stop. I can't. So can't and won't. All right? That's all I'm saying. The wise one should be speaking with love out in public and protection. They are also guardians, okay? Guard dog is their outer face. And on their divine feminine, they just can't stop talking, spiritually, hopefully. Now, I just want to draw our attention one more time to this. I didn't mention anything yet in particular about the, let's just call it dark side, but here they are, okay? For today, the ego dramas, indiscretion, just blah, 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 telling secrets of other people, breaking promises, the opposite of resolving. Make a resolution, just break them, smash your own and other people's. And then unyielding. If you're up here trying to balance your life out like this, and you cannot give in to other people's, then you're crashing, you're failing. But it can work for you your whole life if you want. And living in your ego is super easy to do. For all people of the death and rebirth glyph, just some of them cannot get out of this fascination with disgusting, deathly, violent movies, etc., right? This fearlessness of death gets them out there doing insane things on snowboards, on motorcycles, etc., and then just give up. Nothing matters. So again, my friends, use my website and find out all of these things. What this means is for anyone who has tone 11 anywhere in their chart, okay, these ego dramas for tone 11, if you have resolving anywhere of your 4 guides, or you were born on a resolving tone, these qualities are blocking you from expressing your true core self, all right? So if you have 11 right here, it is extremely likely that these are blocking you from expressing your divine masculinity if you have 11 here, all right? That's how the system works. I am put here to help you transcend your ego, your shadow ego. I can do it through this. There might be other factors involved. And I always tell my clients that any system, the Chinese 12-year thing with the 5 elements, the 12-month zodiac, which I believe is incorrect, the 13-sign zodiac, which I believe is correct, when used with sidereal, accurate, true sky readings. However, you've still got 3,000 years of toxic masculinity woven into the whole system, because the Greeks, the Romans, and the people who we call Babylonians, Babylon, just do your own research. Where are they now? Who are they now? They're not different from 2,500, 3,000 years ago. They have an enormous amount of toxic masculinity woven into their cultures. Most of the myths of what Mars means or whatever, like Mercury and Saturn and retrograde, it's all toxic masculine myths. All right? So you have to pick through all of that and say, you know what? 3,000 years ago, they were teaching people that. I don't feel it to be true for myself. For today. Just saying. Aight? So, this is about 5D Earth. It's about transcending the shadow ego. Nothing else on the planet is anything like it. Let's move on. Gaia herself has the monkey go out here and dance and play and sing and do all those monkey things over here. And on your inner self is all about the dreams. It could be said that we, every single human being, is the dream of Gaia. All the plants, all the animals, everything. We are the dream of Gaia. Here's proof, all right? Oh, it's proven. Yeah, it is. I'm not making this shit up, all right? Next, the obsidian mirror knife. Precise people. They need rules. They need boundaries, okay? And yet, when they go out, they are the happy camper, but they're on a quest, all right? In here, they've got this seed energy, which wants to do networking, all right? There's a lot more in the future. You see that? Who's peeking in there? Who's the childhood energy, future energy after age 52? All right. Here we come with a rainstorm. Did I mention the corn and rainstorm connection? Oh, yes, I already did. Okay, so the most divinely feminine glyph has the most masculine glyph in the masculine position. It's and then over here, the most feminine glyph has the chakras, kundalini. And then we come to the last glyph, the solar chief. Look at this. When you combine this with the tones, okay, and for example, when you combine tone 13 pattern with this, you end up with this character here. These people. I did the reading for one woman who is a transcending solar chief, and I cannot stand in her shadow. She is so bright, so fierce. Big open heart too. She is a lovetarian. Okay. Wow. But look over here. The ceremonial healer. All right. And then look at here. Death and rebirth. That's what's going in the future of being a starseed. It's just like, okay. This is already twice as long as I thought it would be, and I've given you 1/10 of the amount of information that I could have. So I'm just going to wrap it up for now. I am completely in love with you. Please allow me to help you peel off the layers and reveal your divine feminine and your divine masculine. I will also, look, I just got to show you this, okay? Every time I do a reading for a person, they receive, let's put this back on to the list. If I do a full reading for you, you get this, okay? This has one whole year, no matter what month you buy it from me, you get a whole year, and you get every single key code word of every tone and glyph. Then you get the patterns. If you get a reading from me, you could then do a reading for anyone else, and quite a good job, all right? Okay, so there is nothing else for me to say. I love you unconditionally. In Lak'esh Alakin, Namaste.